and good night wherever you may be. And of course, seasons meetings. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to another edition of HCW Show Squared. The show is the usual format or formula of the defunct HCW Show podcast. It's the power of, you guessed it, 2. I am your forever tired host of the show, Dan, DP, or as you all say nowadays, DpuizY. Yeah! Now, it is a Saturday morning. I am knackered. And I don't know what's wrong. If it's maybe I just feel lethargic. I don't know. So I can only apologise if I sound a bit out of it. But as you can tell, it is just me on this show again. People are busy. It happens. So it is just me. You have just me. And again, I can only apologise for what that may entail. But yeah, with that in mind, should we talk NXT?
Yes! Yes!
Let's do it. This is for NXT on the 17th of December 2024, hailing from Lowell, Massachusetts, which is the same place that they've had Raw in the 90s. Other than that, they've had a few other shows and stuff, like house shows and stuff like that, but that's about it. So Lowell doesn't really get much wrestling. So here they are now. So this is being treated as some sort of big-ish show. They got a whole new venue, a whole new look. It's very weird, and also this is just a TV show. Like this is just like it's not a PLE or a special or anything like that. It's just a regular episode of TV, and yeah, it's just interesting. I appreciate all the effort they're doing here for Eddy Thorpe. We get a recap as well, what happened last week, yada yada, and then we go into the first match of the night, which is of course over taking on Axiom. And of course, who would come out other than the big man himself, over He wins with the Fall from Grace pop-up powerbomb. I rated this 3.5 stars. It was a great starter, and I can never speak badly of Oba. I love everything he does, and it's partly because as well I don't want to feel his wrath. You know what I mean? Like, it feels like a bit of bad juju if I sort of comment on it badly, and he might just appear from the camera. You never know. But also, he's a solid contender for me for NXT's Wrestler of the Year. Like, he's up there, absolutely. Like, regardless of gender, because there's a few women's contenders on that as well, but he's up there. Like, he's one of the best I've seen all year. Axiom was very good as well at holding his own, but the main thing here was his ability to sell and to make Oba look fantastic. His story of being the underdog in most cases works when you're against someone like Oba. But like I said, a great match. It got about 10 minutes as well, and everything was done in a way to make it seem that Axiom had a fighting chance, when in reality we all sort of knew that he didn't. So it is what it is. No complaints from me though on this one. No complaints whatsoever. After this, we get an interview with Eddy Thorpe. He's been interviewed about his own backstage attack where he attacked himself. Eddy says he's over being called the bad guy or the cheater. He claims that if anyone else had done that, they'd be called a mastermind, and he just did what was best for him. So fair play, Eddy. In comes Ava, however, who is set to admonish him, but before she can, Eddy shuts her down, saying that he works smarter, not harder, and that he would have probably been screwed over in the eyes of Survivor anyways. Shout out to the Screwed Kings, Cedric Alexander, Axiom, and of course Lexis King. Peace out. And that Ava will have no choice than to call Eddy the new men's NXT champion. He didn't say the men's bit. I have to add that in because it should be a thing where you have men's and women's titles rather than women's title and then world title. I digress. However, look out, Ava and Sarah Schreiber, the interviewer, because you're in the splash zone. Now, if I'm any good at editing, I'll edit in a little splash thing. If I'm not, then it's going to look very awkward. Because up next, it'll be Sol Ruka's match. But before that, we'll go backstage. It is Carl Petrovich and Dion Lennox in the high school drama storyline that never seems to end. Dion explains what happened last week to Carmen. Carmen had a match with Nikki Alliance, and Ashante essentially sacrificed himself to help Carmen get the win. However, because of that, he pushed Carmen out of the way to take the hit. Carmen has had time to look at the footage again, and she agrees. She doesn't know why she gets so defensive over Ashante's actions, and Dion suggests that maybe she should apologise to him, and she agrees with that too. And then they hug. And of course, in the same as dramatic storyline rules dictate, the other person involved in this should appear when they're hugging. And of course, Ashante turns up. He sees the hug. And he's like, "Oh hell no, man, what are you doing? What are you playing at?" He accuses Carmen and Dion of being a thing. Then he says he cut out Nikita for this, and then he says that he feels like he should just text all the girls if she's hugging all the guys. Bit weird. Dion then says he's done, and he just goes back to reading books and minding his own business. You know what, Dion? I expect a well-read king. I don't know if you hear that on the mic, I don't know. Up next, we have a tag match. The second match of the night is Sol Ruka and ZARIA. That's right, Bully Ray. ZARIA.
And how about the appearance, the out of nowhere of, tell us who it was.
Taking on Metaphor, Lash Legend, and Jakara Jackson. And in a rather surprising turn of events, for me at least, I don't know how others felt about it. Metaphor win, following the bully drop from from Lash onto Sol. I rated as 2 3/4 stars. It was decent, just an odd result. I suppose in the grand scheme of things, Metaphor do have more experience as a tag team, which makes, I guess, the difference in this kind of match. Whereas Sol and ZARIA have independent strengths, but maybe not the tag chemistry as required for this sort of win. As a whole, solid match, and it's good to see Metaphor back on NXT, as they bring in the experience that they took from the main roster stuff that they did. So yeah, just not so sure on if ZARIA and Sol being the sacrificial lambs for this was going to be the way to go to get a Metaphor win. Because there are other teams that you could just do that too. Anyway, we go backstage again. Tyreek Igwe and Tyson DuPont are walking around, and they argue ideologies against tag wrestling, because as we saw, Tyson is more about respect, whereas Tyreek's more about taking what's theirs. The wins and losses don't matter. They're all background noise. Speaking of background, Wesley's also in the background of this scene, and he agrees with Tyreek, essentially getting himself involved and saying that Tyson should maybe need to rethink things. So we're getting some sort of kinship between potentially the 3 of them, but right now Tyreek and Wesley. After this, we go into the 3rd match of the night in a singles match between Jada Parker and Ren Sinclair. Jada wins, surprise, surprise, with the spinning elbow followed by the hypnotic or the drive-by, whatever it's called. It's the running hip attack. I rated it 3 stars. This was only really going to go one way, though I would not have minded the Ren upset here, especially following a major profile loss in Jada's case. Jada continues to shoot her way up the card though, and honestly, I can see her gunning for the women's NXT title soon. And she does have basically everything you would need to be a star. All she's got to do is kind of need to drop OTM. But saying that, she is the figurehead of OTM, so it does play out to her advantage anyways. Meanwhile though, Ren Sinclair continues to shine with her technical prowess and making others look great. But saying that, I don't know what her future holds because she seems to be just the person who eats pins. So I don't know entirely. But we'll see. After we get a vignette with Tatum Paxley, Gigi Dolan, and Shotzi. They talk about labels being applied to them, and now they're overcoming those labels by being together in this tandem. Tatum says that she didn't know she needed friends like this, and now she has them, she won't have to play alone anymore. Gigi says that it's important to focus on fatal influence, and that JC is stronger when people are by her side. She also recounts her history with JC in Does It Attraction. And that was about it for the vignette. But I did want to put notice on one thing. There was a Wendy Chu doll that had its head ripped off, which is even symbolic that, Tatum's defeated Wendy or slayed Wendy, or maybe something else. Maybe Wendy's on her way back again from TNA. Afterwards, we immediately get a backstage segment following the vignette with Fatal Influence. They laugh at the comments and then they insist on calling the trio freaks. And then in comes the Unholy Union, Ida Dawn and Alba Fire, who mock the trio, and then conflicts rise as Alba can only see turmoil when she looks at Fatal Influence, whereas when she sees the other trio of Shotzi, Gigi, and Tatum, she sees harmony and, connection. Gigi then calls them freaks, and they all leave. I will say they're building something between JC and Fallon as well. Like, not Fallon so much, but every time Fallon is mentioned with a title belt or she mentions the title, JC gets visibly annoyed. So there's no more to that coming, I'm assuming. After we go into the next match of the night, it is the fourth match. It's a tag team match for the NXT Tag Team Championships. Challengers Gallus, Mark Coffey, and Wolfgang taking on the champions Axiom, Nathan Frazier, and Axiom. Of course, you might be thinking, didn't Axiom have a match earlier tonight? He did against Overberry, and he lost badly. But here he is. So who would win? The Scottish Boys or 1.5 Men? Well, the answer would be 1.5 Men. They win once again under the same pretense as they did Deadline, except just roles reversed. They win and retain following the Super Spanish Fly and Phoenix Splash combination. I rated this 3.25 stars. They win yet again, 1.5 Men. In what was pretty much a rinse and repeat of the match of Deadline, Fraser carried the team while the other half could barely stand for most of the match. Seeing them win matches in the state does raise the question, will they ever lose? And the answer to that question is yes, they will, when the right team comes along. And while I don't agree with it personally, I think the right team right now is OTM. They even wanted to take the tag belt off of Fraxium, because Fraxium don't take it too seriously. And you probably want a heel team to beat your face team, and assuming as well that they'll just break Fraxium up at some point. And yeah, Gallus were there too. But they're basically insignificant, so it don't matter. Obviously, we go backstage. Javon Evans is here with Hank and Tank. Honk, honk. Also, peep the new merch. As well, they got a little honk honk t-shirt, which I'm tempted. I'm just saying, I'm tempted. Anyway, Javon is marking out over his career with Hank and Tank, and that's pretty much all this is. Ethan then appears from behind and barges past Javon, and he makes his way towards the ring. Afterwards, we get a vignette with Charlie Dempsey and Alexis King. They have a deck of cards workout session, which is like you draw cards and you do certain workouts or something. I don't know. Which Dempsey judges basically if Alexis King can keep up with him. But can Alexis keep up with him? The answer would be yes, simply. It's a little montage of them working out and doing different various workouts. Eventually, though, Alexis does keep up with him, and Charlie does grant him the Heritage Cup match for next week. Now, the segment itself, go out and watch it if you can, and you'll see what I mean. You'll see what I mean when I say this. This was the most homoerotically charged segment that I think I've ever seen on pro wrestling TV. It was very weird. Like, normally you see 2 or 3 or 4 guys, whatever, topless, right? And it's whatever. This was a very much more intimate setting, and they were both really sweaty afterwards and stuff, so it was like honestly, if that scene had continued on for like 10 more seconds, I'm not sure what that would have developed into. But yeah, that was the vignette, and we're gonna get that Heritage Cup match next week. After this, we go to the ring. It's time for a promo with Ethan Page. He just cuts a down to earth promo. Like this is quite an, I don't know why I put it. This is quite a what's the word? Realistic promo, like a real promo. He talks about his wife and his family, and how he's been feeling down. It's because he feels like he's a letdown to his family, to everyone. He talks about how he fulfilled his promise to win the men's world title. He then talks directly to his wife and says that nothing is possible without her, and he got to live his dream. He says that his career is a reflection on his family and his fans. When he loses, they all lose. He sees videos of his children crying because he can't win, and he sees a look of disappointment in his wife's eyes. He doesn't know anyway. He doesn't know if he loves us anymore. And the penny finally drops, and he says the magic words that he's lost his smile. That was a homage to the infamous Shawn Michaels promo in 1997 in Lowell, Massachusetts, where Shawn did have to vacate the world title due to injury and did that whole promo about losing his smile. After this, out comes Javon Evans. Like, come on, man, read the room. Now's not the time. Javon says that he knows the real Ethan, and Ethan needs to drop the all ego thing, and it's time to bring up the real Ethan Page. He says that he's proud of Ethan, and everyone's proud of Ethan. Ethan says that he agrees with Javon, and Javon's comments have made it all clearer. Ethan then says he should have not been worried about losing his smile. He should worry about taking Javon's, before socking him in the face. Then he traps Javon's head in the chair and stomps on the chair, and Javon spits blood, and apparently teeth. I don't know how true that is, but there's mention of there being teeth as well. I don't know again how true that actually is. After this, we get an interview with Trick Williams, unfortunately. Basically, Trick says that he is aiming to prove all his doubters wrong, and that he'll retain the men's NXT Championship. Again, he don't say the men's bit. That's just me adding that in. However, in comes Ovemi, who wishes him luck, and he hopes that Trick wins, because no matter who wins, he's taking the title at New Year's Eve from Eddy or from Trick. And after this, we go into the match itself. A singles match for the men's NXT Championship. Eddy Thorpe taking on champion Trick Williams. And the winner is, of course, nobody? Question mark? So the match itself ends as both men's shoulders are down for the 3 count, although I would really question Eddy's claim to a pin on this. However, I rated it 3 stars. It was an alright match. It was made better because of Eddy's desperation to win the title and to achieve his ultimate goal of becoming what people are stopping him from becoming, a champion. The main champion in the men's division of NXT, which he feels NXT management is preventing him from doing. But saying that, I'm not sure what this ending was, and especially with what they're alluding to in the online exclusive ending. Now, before I get into that, main event ended in a weird way. However, I've got to come back to it and reintroduce the snooze segment of the week, question of the week, and I've still got a title for it, but question of the week. Now, can anyone tell me, specifically anyone in the comment section, or feel free to DM me or message me, whatever, if you've got the answer, what does the phrase "whoop that trick" mean? Like, what does it actually mean? Because Trick Williams is called Trick, and is he whooping himself? Is that a sexual thing for him? Just saying. Is it something else? Is he whooping other tricks? Like, what is a trick? And what is being whooped? And what is the whoop that trick? Let me know. And finally, we have the online exclusive clip that helps clarify a couple of things. So we see the continuation of the show from after the feed ended. Ava sorting out the issue. She announces that because all 4 shows were on the mat and the count was counted, no one actually wins. It's a draw, which basically means that Trick retains the title anyway. I will say no one says it's a draw. I should say that actually. It goes to Ava, who makes a decision and says Trick's still champion, and it's announced that he's still champion. At no point does anyone say it's a draw. It's only implied. Trick celebrates, of course, and then Eddy, being Eddy, rightfully gets outside and he gets in Ava's face. And at this point, I'm thinking, oh my god, he's going to hit her. He's going to actually hit her. And she's a wrestler, so, you know, she can take it. It's fine. But it's very intense. However, he doesn't hit her, but out comes Shawn Michaels to come try and defuse the situation. And however, he gets shoved away by Eddy. So, tensions are rising here. Trick then comes back out the ring, grabs Eddy, and then lays him out with a spinning kick or something. And Eddy rolls out the ring, and that is that, essentially. But yeah, that was NXT. I liked the feel, I liked the atmosphere, but the show itself wasn't particularly great. Like, atmosphere was good, audience was good, arena was good. Just the matches weren't all that. They were okay. They never really stand out for me. But yeah, that does bring an end to this podcast. You can tell what ones are just me because it's not as long. We've been here about maybe 25 minutes, maybe 30. And you know, we're at the end already because you know there's no one to bounce my thoughts off of. It is what it is. But yeah, in regards to the video, please like the video, share the video out if you can. Comment on the video down below. Did you enjoy the show? Did you not enjoy the show? Did you other things? I'm tired. And please subscribe to the channel as well. Every little thing helps. It's all free and it hurts nobody. In regards to social media, we are all here. I've got to update the overlay again, but Instagram's there, Facebook's there, Twitter or X is there, and Twitch is there. Twitch is dead. Twitch is not coming back. I don't know. Maybe it is. I don't know yet. I really don't know. It's about finding the time and wanting to do it. And right now I've got no desire for either of those. So yeah, we'll see how things go in the future, but I don't foresee it happening. Of course, we are also on Blue Sky, which I'll put a little screen here. Blue Sky is cool, safe haven, etc., etc. It's not a cesspit like Twitter. And yeah, that's all it is. Oh, and also if you're so inclined, I'm also on Twitter or X as DpuizY. But other than that, that does bring an end to this episode. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, let me know. If you didn't, let me know. But no, any interaction is all appreciated, and again, just share it out, let people know about the show, as we are, as far as I'm aware, the only UK outlet that covers NXT. I could be wrong on that, and I apologise if I am, but I've not seen any other UK outlets who cover NXT like this. So we'll see what happens. But anyway, for now, I've been Dan, DP, and just go out there, big people, and happy holidays.